Hey guys, you're listening to Ebird Online, and I'm here with another review from Before the 90 Days, and this is Season 4, Episode 2. And today I'm going to be talking to you about Lisa and Usman, and Avery and Ash. So if you like my video, please don't forget to give it the thumbs up, and also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe for regular videos. And you can follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. So without further ado, I bring you Avery and Ash. So Avery tells us she's leaving for Australia to meet Ash for the first time in a few days, and she decides to give Ash a call. Hi babe. He said, hi, you look gorgeous. And she said, are you looking forward to me coming over next week? And he said, I'm going to be touching you just to check that you're actually real. And Avery said, well, I'm a little worried. And he said, no, if our souls connect, the rest will be simple. It will be an easy ride. What was that, Ash? An easy ride. You're a bankrupt, so you've got to try and get a visa to get into America. You've got to move your business. And I say the word business advisedly. You've got a child with another woman who's going to have to live thousands of miles away from that woman. And you've also got to connect with two children that Avery has. Even if you're the best relationship coach in the world, however can anyone describe that as an easy ride? And the red flags are flying at full mast. And Avery tells producers that she's really worried about Ash because he does know all the right things to say. And she also tells us he has a 10-year-old son called Taj, and she wants to see how he is with his son. Avery, if I were you, I'd give some thought as to how Ash is going to be with your daughters also. But you're not taking them, are you? And then she asks Ash, so you're happy to move to America with Taj? And he said, yeah. And she said, what about his mum, Sion? And Taj was on full autopilot by this point. He said, it will be challenging, but she has a positive outlook on it. She'll support Taj in whatever he wants to do. And then Avery said, can I meet her? Because I would have a really hard time if one of my children were to go halfway across the globe, and I just want to kind of figure her out a bit. I just want to check out the situation. And he said, yeah, it's one of the things I've been working towards, the potential of you meeting with Sion. Oh, Ash, we just need a yes or a no. And then Avery tentatively said, I know we've kind of mentioned it before a little bit, but why was it your marriage ended again? Avery, this is a sort of question that you ask and you absolutely know before you buy your ticket to go to Australia and see him. This sort of thing you should know verbatim, like the back of your hand. Oh Lord. And autopilot Ash said, we grow apart on many levels. How I run my business and how I live my life is completely different to how she would do things. And Avery said, well, what about us? We've had our ups and downs. And autopilot Ash said, we've stuck together through our breakups and we've come together much stronger. And then Avery said, I remember once when you were talking to a client on the phone and your client said you must have had a beautiful girlfriend, and you didn't even want to acknowledge the fact that I was your girlfriend. You just kept ignoring it throughout the whole of the conversation. And autopilot Ash said, I didn't really want to address that situation, and I didn't want to give any more energy to it. I can see your point of view, and whether right or wrong, that's how I decided to handle it. But going forward, it's something we could discuss. And guys, at this point, I'm just waiting for Ash to break into, hello there Avery, how are you doing today? I just wondered what you're doing next week, because we have skilled interior designers and kitchen planners in your area, already planning kitchens out for some of our high profile clients. We have a few gaps in our diary, and we wondered if you might like a free plan and design of your kitchen space. There's no obligation to buy, so can I book you in for say Tuesday at 3 p.m? I knew it anyway, but I'm definitely sure now. Ash is nothing but a dodgy salesman. But guys, Avery knows. Avery keeps on saying at every opportunity, you know the right things to say. You know how to handle things because you're a relationship coach. And if you notice when he's talking to Avery, he's always talking her round. He's always allaying her fears. He never says to her, what happens if your kids don't like me? What happens if you don't fancy me? He never says any of that. He's always allaying her fears as if he's really desperate to get whatever it is that she has. When there are potential problems, he throws up solutions to them as if it's just simple. He said earlier, it will be an easy ride. Nothing's an easy ride, but you're two different people moving from two different cultures, blending a family together. No person in their right mind would ever describe that as an easy ride. And let's not talk about bankruptcy, ex-wives and visas. And he also said of his ex-wife, when she was talking about moving the son to America, well, it will be challenging for her, but she has a positive outlook on it. Honestly, that's absolute balderdash. I don't know a mother alive that would be happy with their child moving halfway around the world with a woman they're yet to meet. I've met a random girl who puts weed in salads on the internet. I think I'm in love. We're moving. And so is Taj. Sorry, but no. There's more to this than meets the eye. And for some reason, I think Ash and his so-called ex-wife are in this together. I think somehow Ash is going to try and get into America, and I think then she's going to maybe apply for a green card herself and say, well, my son's there and I just need to be with my son. Something's going on. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something is going on. The only possible reason I know why somebody would send their kid miles away is if you were from an extremely poor country and you knew in your heart of hearts they'd have a great opportunity in America. Australia's every bit as rich as America, have a great education system, a great healthcare system, fabulous beaches, and the best Bloody Mary oysters at the Sydney Opera House. So why ever would she want her son to move at the age of 10? I don't know what's going on, but I do not buy it. I've just had a thought. What it could be is that Taj isn't going anywhere, but he doesn't want to paint himself as the kind of dad that would just leave his kid in another country, you know, like Sasha or something. And so maybe he's going to pretend my ex-wife has changed her mind. Maybe he just doesn't want to be painted as the selfish little mofo that he is. But Avery's got more important things on her mind because she's off to see her parents. And as she's walking into the house, she takes a deep breath, as well she might, because she's got to tell them several things. 1, she's in a relationship. 2, it's with Ash and he lives in Australia. 3, Ash has a child. 4, that she's going to Australia for 2.5 weeks to meet Ash for the first time. And 5, she's going to leave her kids at home while she does so. And 6, she wants to bring Ash back and get married to him over in the US. So she's certainly got a lot to discuss. And as the story unfolds, her parents are staring at her and her mother is giving her a look of unbridled incredulity and she can't hide it. And Granny said, let me have a look at a picture of him. And she went, he's a good looker though, isn't he? And Granny asked, aren't there any guys that are near here for you? Avery, there would be loads. Your body is actually a smoke show. And her dad said, yeah, find somebody in Washington. And Avery said, Dad, you just find love wherever you find love. Where you find it, you go. Avery, no you don't. You find love wherever you look for it. So if I decide to look for love in New York, then I'll find love in New York. I spent 15 years not dating outside of my city because I knew that I had my own business and I literally didn't have the time to have to travel to see somebody. And so her mum said, but you've only met on the net, which I've got to say I find it really, really strange that people even do this, that they even just talk on the internet. Oh, it's the phone for you. The 1980s want their mum back. And her mum says, are you going to be staying with him? And she said, well, yeah, I am. And her dad said, Avery, what happens if he turns out to be aggressive? I think if you put one finger on Avery, I think she'll be able to drop kick him. So I'm not really worried about her physical safety, that her mental safety is perilously in danger. And Avery's mum tells production that Avery has made a lot of very bad mistakes with men. And she said now she's got her kids to think about. And she keeps on saying, I want to see how authentic Ash really is. Avery, Ash is a new age car salesman. He's the kind of guy, in fact, that looks like he'd sell your car with you still inside it. He doesn't care about you. There's a reason that Ash messaged you knowing that you were in the US, and that's because he wanted to go and live there. So guys, let me know what you think to this whole mess. Do you think that the ex-wife is in on some sort of scam? And do you think it's a mistake that Avery isn't taking her kids over there? Because they're not going to get any chance now to actually bond with Ash, as we know he's not allowed in the country. So just how is she going to blend this family? By force? Let me know in comments down below what you think. And next up, Lisa and Usman. So we first see Lisa and she tells us in 2 days she's going to Nigeria to meet the love of her life, and all being well the following will happen. They'll meet, they'll get on well, they'll have unprotected sex, and I've got a feeling for Usman it might be unproductive sex, but I digress. And then they'll get married there in Nigeria and she'll bring him back to the States on a spousal visa. Well, she's got it all figured out. It sounds like a great plan. And what does Donald Trump say about Nigeria? Yes, that's right, he does. And that's exactly what the Ebird says about Lisa. But just what is that you're wearing? And guys, you know me, I don't like to be sarcastic, but Lisa, well, she gives me so much material to work with. Guys, you've got to help me. She's virtually forcing me to ridicule her. She's forcing me. And then we're treated to a phone call between Lisa and Usman. And when Usman picks up the phone, Lisa says, what happened, baby love? Lisa, that's Jamaican, not Nigerian. Do you know where it is that you're going? I have a feeling that you may well not know. But then Lisa reminds us all again that he's a celebrity. And I tell you again, Lisa, he ain't ish. And Usman asks what she wants to do when she gets to Nigeria. And she says, I want to go to the studio. And it's come to her attention that there are females at the studio. And she wants to check out what's happening in this studio. Well, I can tell you what's not happening. The utilisation of any talent or the making of any decent music. That's what's not happening at the studio. And then Lisa muses that she's going to be the only white woman for miles around. And she further tells us that Usman is a Muslim and that she's a Christian. Well, I wouldn't worry too much, Lisa, because it seems as if neither of you are practicing. But she explains there's a problem, there's a fly in the ointment. And that turns out to be Usman's mum, because she wants him to marry a Nigerian Muslim. And I feel that it's only fair to point out to Lisa that Muslims in Nigeria can have up to 4 wives. So there's nothing for you to worry about. But then she asks, if I pay your mum a goat, will she be okay with it? And he said, my mum's never just going to be like okay with anything. It's going to take a while and you'll have to get to know her. I mean, my mum's really worried that you're going to take me over here to be a slave. What? Usman, back up now, back up. When people took slaves from Africa to America, they were chained onto the boat. They weren't texting, calling and Skyping their slave masters every day, just desperate to get into America. But then he was saved by his phone, because suddenly another phone call came through and Lisa was on it. She said, who's that? Who's that? Is that a female? Listen, when we get to Nigeria, things have got to change. I'm not going to have girls calling you all the time. I'm not going to have 100 people surrounding us all day long. Get rid of the fans. You're going to have an entourage of 1, and that's going to be me. And next time we see Lisa, she's off to meet some of her friends, and they're going for drinks at a bar, and she apologises for being late. Well, if an apology is, yeah, I'm late, so what? And she tells them, I'm excited to go to Nigeria tomorrow. And this husband and wife combo don't look very impressed. And the wife asks, what does he do in Nigeria? He's a celebrity. A celebrity? A celebrity? And she couldn't even say it with a straight face. And she asks, what kind of celebrity? The Ebird can tell you that. A celebrity with no Insta followers. A celebrity with no record deal. A celebrity with no money. And a celebrity with no talent or no tangible level of fame. A celebrity who's yet to be celebrated. And a celebrity with a fiance whose face is punching zeros. That's what kind of celebrity he is. Oh, Lisa, have you been eating Avery's salads again? You have, haven't you? And then Lisa tells the husband and wife combo about the song, the love song that Usman wrote for her, specially for her. And she tells them how upset she is.
I'll be with you all my life. I will stick to you. I made it to be my home, 'cause you're all I need.
Because she lives in America and she's so far away. When they went to do the music video, Usman promised that he would have a visual representation of Lisa in the video. But when Lisa saw the video, she wasn't very happy because the director had put a Nigerian woman in place of her. And Lisa told Usman straight away, if it stays like this, I won't acknowledge that the song's for me. And then she informed her friends that in the end the director cut the girl out of the video. But then talk turns a little sinister because they ask her, where are you going in Nigeria? And she said, Kaduna. And so they googled Kaduna, only to find out there'd been killings in Kaduna. And her friends both started saying, this is really dangerous. It's going to be so dangerous for you in Nigeria. You're going to get kidnapped as you're going to be the only white person. They're going to think you're really rich. No, they're not. They're going to see your clothes and they're going to feel sorry for you, Lisa. And the husband, well, he seems to know all about what happens in Nigeria. I'll worry about kidnappings and beheadings. You never know what they're going to do over there. But then Lisa informs them that she's ready to take that risk. And she says, if I die, I'll die happy. If my life is 1 week or 1 month with this man, I've lived a full life. I'll take 1 week, thanks, Lisa. And the next time we see her, she's packed and she's ready to go to the airport. Her friend is going to drive her over and she comes over with her daughter. And her friend asks her, where are you going? What are you doing? Do you trust this person? And they bring her some condoms. And Lisa said, thanks for thinking about me, but don't worry because I've already had him checked over. I've had him tested and he definitely hasn't got AIDS. Lisa, what's he doing right now? For all you know, he could be having a foursome. Actually, I'll make that a threesome. He probably hasn't got 4 groupies. He's probably having a threesome with some of his groupies. You've got no idea. And then her friend lets us know that she's set up a mission in Africa. And she said, Africa is a dangerous place. And as somebody who's been to many different countries in Africa, I can say certain parts of Africa are dangerous and certain parts of Africa are not dangerous at all. Just like America, just like Europe, just like everywhere else. And I think she has an adopted or a foster daughter because her daughter's black, and Lisa was saying she's been to Africa previously, although they don't divulge where. Looking at the daughter, I kind of think she looks Zimbabwean, but I don't know. So Lisa finishes packing and they put the suitcases in the car. As they're driving along, her friend said, do you think Usman's a Yahoo boy? And now guys, I've never heard this term before. But her friend said she thinks he's a Yahoo boy because he lives with several housemates. So when I look online, I realise that a Yahoo boy is just what we would call in the UK a 419er. And it's just somebody that does fraudulent scams. and so they call people and basically use whatever means necessary to wangle money out of you. Lisa's sure that Usman is nothing like this, and she says he's legit and is not a scammer. She tells us if this is a scam, then she'll never ever recover from it. And that's where we leave Lisa and Usman this week. So there's quite a little bit to unpick from this. Firstly, I hated the fact that Lisa said, if I have 1 week or 1 month with him, that will be enough. I'll be with the man I love. Lisa, didn't we hear last week that you've got a 15-year-old daughter? Is your happiness with this man worth more than your own child? Also, Lisa, do you honestly believe that any sort of celebrity would be interested in you? Celebrities have lots and lots of options. But Lisa, what's that noise? That's the sound of Usman scraping the bottom of the barrel. And honestly guys, I think that Lisa's so deluded, I can't even begin to understand her thought process. And also, if Usman were a celebrity, you're quite ridiculous in your attitude towards his female fans. I hate the way that she calls them bitches and hoes or whatever she says. Usman at the moment is single, he's a celebrity. People will tweet him and people will message him on Insta. That doesn't necessarily mean the person is a hoe. But to be fair, I've got to say Usman's game is tight. I've actually heard his song enough in the last couple of weeks to actually know one of his songs. He's actually got a real life music video.
I'll be with you all my life. I will stick to you.
And whilst it doesn't look amazing, it does at least look professional. But one thing's for sure, Usman has managed to do far more promotion in 2 weeks and no camera time than Blake managed to do for the whole of last season. I did actually have the pleasure of listening to some of Blake's music, and he has actually got one song that's really good, but he really didn't get his song or his band any meaningful promotion. His social media is still very, very poor, whereas Usman, well, he seems to be right on it. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Lisa is as rude AF for saying, if I die tomorrow, I'll die happy? And do you think she's just unbelievably and incredibly naive? Or do you think Usman is so good and so slick at what he does, he's got a hoodwink? Please let me know in comments down below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much to everybody that sent messages. It's greatly appreciated. And follow me on Twitter at Ebird99, and don't forget to like my video. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Ciao for now.